welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna spice up the wood stove corner. I thought that the stove corner was kind of off, something was missing, and plus I really had to build a drywall between the fridge and the stove to protect the fridge from the heat. It was ages that I was dreaming of this beam, so I really wanted to play with a faux beam and bricks. The bricks came with the kitchen. If you haven't seen the video, please click the card here up. And so I had to sort out a faux beam, and I thought that on the upper part I could do a shelf so I could store extra pots and pans. We have to build a wall with drywall, and my idea is also to do another closed shelf over the stove. Now let's get into the most important part, the drywall. We got actually two pieces of drywall. One is against fire and the other one is a normal piece of drywall. We started by cutting the guide exactly the same height with our ceiling. We are gonna do new holes. It's better to do holes between tiles, never inside the tiles. Anchored. We did exactly the same thing on the ground, and now we're gonna fix the last part. 1, 2, and let me see where else. Oh yes, and there. This is the bones, let's say. It came the time to install the actual drywalls, and the scariest thing at all was cutting them, because it's really easy to break them. We're gonna use this as a guide and we're gonna cut it with a knife. Now we're gonna cut in this direction, and it's actually with an angle because our ceiling is like this. The time of the truth. Does it fit like a glove or not? Hello! So my job is to paint the drywall in the black color that we have all over the kitchen. Our stove is an hydraulic stove, so if yours is the same, please, you really have to cut a window so that you can enter the pumps from behind the drywall. So there are some pumps that must be accessible. We keep carving and carving and carving. It will break at one point. With a saw, we solved the problem. We were unlucky, or maybe lucky enough, to find a socket on our way. So my brain was already thinking about some lights. Because we had a socket exactly in between the drywall, we decided to get with a thread. Maybe we can use it here that is becoming really dark. It came the moment to attach the two drywalls previously painted in black with some screws to the metallic skeleton. The sandwich is served. Dun, da, 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 da. Little bit Mandalorian. Oh, perfect. I got the idea of finishing it with visible drywall corners from my own kitchen makeover. Shameless self-promo. If you haven't seen the video, again, go check it out. And now what do? We will spray paint this with primer and then with a coppery color to tie up with the kitchen. 230. We just fixed these corners with many screws. What we came up with is placing a shelf here with doors and leaving everything open so that all the air can fly into the home again as well. But this is a really dark spot, so I think we're gonna do it metallic doors. And now comes the most important part. If you remember my inspo pic, we need a beam. The rustier, the better.
Let's go shopping in my garden, shall we? I found one day a piece of wood that I would like to use in my kitchen. Da-da-da-da-da-da! It is this rusty look that I'm going forward. Now I just have to convince my husband that it is a great idea to use this wormy piece of wood in our kitchen. I convinced him. So I will start cutting here, and then I will measure 91 centimeters and I will cut where the 91 centimeters are, and then fingers crossed, we should have a kind of a new mantel over our stove. Voila! Brush it out, let's brush it out. This piece is full of ants, so we're not gonna use it, but because I really like the ancient nails, we will try to get them and put it here in this piece that is in a better condition.
Let's talk about the cabinet that is above the beam. We decided to go for metal. First of all, because it's fireproof, and second of all, because it could tie with all this industrial vibe that is going on in my house. But this means welding.
We have 4 pieces that we have to put together in a frame. So of course you have to have this machine. You're gonna put one clasp here, and then you're gonna do this. It is the bad boy time. Moment of the truth. Of course, I have to paint again the wall. Perfect. Our next move will be to add the, oh my god, I don't know the name, these things to open the doors. Open sesame! Not perfect, but to be a DIY, more than enough. Now everything is staying up by friction, so...
To anchor the wood beam to the walls, we use some special brackets. And PS, in the side with a drywall, please drill where there is a stud.
We will use the L-shaped brackets from our wedding, if you don't remember it. Now we have this part that is done, and I'm gonna paint the upper part.
I don't even want to tell you what happened with the color. Just watch.
I found, I think, the perfect color is hammered look, and this in copper. You will see if this is what I think it is. Wow.
Spoiler alert, it wasn't.
This is the finish, you see? This hammered look is the finish.
When you weld, then you have to hammer the spot, and we get a little bit extra with a cutter.
I'm gonna also swipe everything with a cloth. Prepped? Not prepped. Now my big moment arrived, so I'm gonna set them down, prime them, then I'm gonna use the color. The color is not what I was expecting.
In the end, I decided to go for a black color so that it could tie up with a stove, with a bracket, and I could use handles for an accent.
Let's cover up this horrendous and horrific color, shall we? Okay, here we go.
Another super important part was isolating, above all next to the wooden beam.
We got some isolating material. Okay, so in this way, we're gonna also fixing it to the chimney. I don't know how you call it.
Now let's fix the actual shelf.
We had this shelf that is a leftover from our kitchen. We measured, we're gonna cut it here, and we're gonna cut a U shape so can slide in. We're gonna use some L-shaped brackets so that here can lay the shelf. Basically, gonna go here up. Now there is a hole. Our plan is to put a shelf over here with a little bit of distance, and we put also some isolation. And here there will be just pots and pans with a hole so the heat can go inside and outside with no problems. Next step, drilling. We put an L-shaped bracket over there, one over there, and we place it here to these L-shaped brackets, and voila. So what we did was to anchor 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this frame is steady. Then we put the door, and now we have to deal with the handles. For the handles, I can use this piece of wood. I'm gonna sand it down, and we're gonna put also these pieces so it will be easier to grab it. We're gonna pre-drill, and now we're gonna drill from the back. No, sorry, from the front. That is the back. From here to get into 1 and 2. So nice, rustic chic. Final touch. Dun, 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 dun.
And lately, no one of my projects is finished without a light.
Time for the final touches.
LED.
So this is the part of the LED, and this is a normal cable, and without being super electricians, but this is how it worked. The moment of truth. Whoa, dusty. And light.
Are you ready to see the final result? I'm so happy about how it turned out! If you do it as well, please give a like to this video and subscribe. It's so important, the red button down there. Please help me reach the 1000 subscribers. See you soon, bye!